It's about the extent of my Norwegian. I'm working on it. But so moving right along, the story that I want to start with that relates to this presentation, engaging the next generation, was when I had the opportunity to take the Australian Junior Fed Cup team in 2018. Now, last time I took a tour away, I used to do tours a lot with junior tennis players. There were no mobile phones, okay? So I thought to myself, all right, this is a different situation, and you can see there, most of the girls were now bigger than me, and they were just a different breed, which really sets the scene for this presentation, because I had to really learn myself about this next generation, like what's really going to be important to them. And so what we did is we started with our values, and we've already heard how important that is today from one of the other speakers. But we were the incredible raging elephants, right? Which stood for improvement, respect, and enjoyment. So every day, we're warming up like this. Right? And we're like this. And all the other countries are going, what's Australia doing? Right? What's Australia doing? Why are they having so much fun? Why is it that we would have breakfast before any other country? Okay, we used to have to ask the Malaysian Uber drivers one question about their culture to show respect. All right, now, so I'll turn that off so you can hear me. All right, but that song there, they chose that song. And so even in our warm-up, when we were mobilising and activating and doing the dynamic flex, they had smiles on their faces. And it was the secret to that was they drove the behaviours from the values. Yes, as a coach, I ask strategic questions. For example, what would you like to do with mobile phones during breakfast, lunch and dinner? Okay, that's a strategic question. So of course they were like, we won't have them during meals. Okay, all right, are you sure? Is that what you want? Yeah, we want that. Okay, great. And I really do believe that, yes, we had success. We did end up winning Asia Oceania and finishing 6th in Budapest. But basically, it was the way that they drove the guidelines. So it wasn't me coming in and putting rules on them and making them do certain things. It was about listening to what they value in a way they wanted to do it. And when it rained, we're all doing warrior yoga poses, right, to fill in the time while everyone else looks really depressed at tournaments and really down. Why is Australia having so much fun? And that was part of the reason we had so much success. So I just wanted to start with that story. So moving right along, let's, like I said, after coffee time slot. So, oh, sorry. I meant to say, sorry. I was going to say something about the Northern Lights. Going back, Bill Riddle, you've all heard Bill Riddle speak earlier today. I just want to mention, he came all the way to Australia he wanted to see a kangaroo. It was a bit like my Northern Lights situation. And so we drove from Sydney all the way to Melbourne, and I normally see a kangaroo at least every 15 minutes, not one freaking kangaroo that day. So I just wanted to say, I hope you end up coming back, Bill. But here's your kangaroo. Keep dreaming, and I'll see you in Australia. That was planned, just to balance it on top there. So, as you can see, I do like to give out prizes, right? And all the notes, by the way, they're all electronically, so you don't need to worry about taking notes. Anyone want to win this? Anyone want to win this AO hat? Yeah, cool. Evan, that's it? Evan. And no one else? Okay, 2 people. All right, everyone stand up. We're going to have a little quiz. Engaging the next generation. Yeah, you're like leaning back. When I said you don't have to do any work. Yeah. All right, energy up. Okay, hands on the head or hands on the hips? Up to you, right? First question. Put your hands on your head. So just relax. Hands on the head if you think there are 7.6 billion people in the world. And hands on your hips if you think false. And you've got 5 seconds to make a decision. 7.6 billion people in the world. And if you get it wrong, you're sitting down. Make a decision, make a decision. Everyone's made a decision. The answer is hands on the heads, you stay standing. Everybody else take a seat. All right, next question. Okay, don't worry if you sat down, don't worry. It doesn't matter. I was going to say you can't get the answers wrong. Okay, maybe you can. All right, next question. Of that 7.6 billion people, okay, put your hands on your head if you think more than 3 billion are playing online games and offline games. So being physical, okay, and online games, screen, in front of the screen. That's what I mean by online and offline. More than 3 million, hands on your head. Less than 3 million. Billion. I love how you're on fire. Got me there. Hands on the hips if you think it's the other way. All right, 5 seconds, make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. The answer is 2 points. So if you put your hands on your head, you are sitting down. Are we getting closer to the AO hat? Okay. All right, next question. All right, of that 2.2 billion, okay, of that 2.2 billion, put your hands on your head if you think more people are playing online, like on the screen, and hands on the hips if more people are being physical. 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1.5 billion, hands on the heads, you stay standing. If it were on your hips, you are sitting. All right, moving along. Okay, the next one is about the number of times that you unlock your phone per hour. Hands on your head if you think that you unlock your phone 11 or more times per hour. Hands on your hips if you think it is less than. All right, so hands on hips, stay standing. How many we got left? How many got? 2 left for the Australian Open hat, I think, or 3. 2 or 3? 3? Are you still in? Are you in? You're still in. All right, we got 3 left. Okay. All right, here we go for the Aussie Open hat. Could be the last question. As you can see, the average attention span of a human now is 8 seconds. Put your hands on your head if you think the average attention span of a goldfish is more than a human. A goldfish. Or on your hips if it is less. No consulting. Okay, quick, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, Aussie Open hats. We have ourselves a winner. So what does any of that actually mean? Okay? As a society, it's not necessarily that people have changed. People are still people. People were competitive when they were younger, but the world and the environment around us has changed. We know that. Okay? But our job becomes so much harder to engage this next generation unless we understand the principles of why there's a 12% addiction rate to this online world. Apparently in the UK they had to appoint the Minister of Loneliness because 40% of the population are lonely. They're in their bubble. They're not communicating, not connecting, and that's our job. One of our most important jobs is to keep that connection, keep people connected to that human relationship. So, so important. So, what makes a great coach? This is my gold dust question of coaching. You've got 30 seconds, person next to you. In 1 to a maximum of 3 words, what do you think makes a great coach? No right or wrong answers. 30 seconds, 3 qualities each. Go. Go. Diversity. Yes, diversity. I'll give you that one. I like it. Yes. What do you think? You don't know? Pick you're a coach. Yeah, pick one quality that you have. What's one of your strengths? Honesty. Fantastic. Yeah. Well, it's something to work on there. But what makes a great coach? Someone who's honest, yeah. All right. Okay, is that 30 seconds? Okay. All right, let's throw it out. Anyone want to share their partner's answer? Anyone want to share their partner's answer? First hand? First hand? Yes. What was your partner's answer? You got to, no, just see I'm like that, ready. You've got to answer it first. Correct. High hourly rates. Is that what makes a great coach? A high hourly rate? One of the people that I spoke to, he said honesty. Don't you love that? Was he honest? He was honest. High hourly rate. Obviously, the better coach you are, you can certainly charge a lot more. I've never had that answer though before. I'll add that to my database. But on a serious note tonight, if anyone wants to be added to my I've got around 500 responses. If anyone wants to be added to that research, please come and share my answer. Yeah, exactly. That's because he's got to give it to one of his players. Exactly. Okay. All right. So I had the opportunity to ask. Back in 2014, the reason why this question fascinates me so much is I had the opportunity to ask Roger Federer, and the same question as he walks from the tennis court to his helicopter, so hence in 1 to a maximum of 3 words. And he said something that Oslo said in his presentation earlier. He said it a lot actually. I counted him at least 5 times. Someone who starts with L. Yeah, someone who listens, which I thought, first time I sort of heard that, I was like, oh, wow, that's what Fed said. And then when I got the chance to ask Patrick Mouratoglou, he said someone who listens. Hence asking, what did your partner say, not what did you say? Someone who listens. This concept of listening is just so important. He also challenged you on the break to really go out and meet somebody you haven't met before and really listen to them, really not be digitally distracted as you hear their responses to some great open-ended questions. And then he went even a step further and he said you have to be able to hear what the player is thinking. So I really loved that answer. And then finally, Judy Murray's one of my, she's an incredible coach, mentor, great friend. She equally said someone who listens. So I thought there's got to be something in that. And I just put Oyvind up there to remind me to again thank you for this awesome opportunity. Plus I'm going to ask you that question at drinks tonight, so be ready. Because one of the things that happened in my life, I call it chapter 1 of my coaching career, that's that I got out of coaching altogether. I was burnt out. I was so sick of parents, so sick of everything. I just got out of coaching altogether. It was 2008, and I went and studied everything to do with human development, thinking I was going to go into the corporate world, into corporate coaching. And what happened was I realised, I used to call parents, I don't know whether you have the same expression, I used to call them high maintenance, HM, parents. And so once I went and studied everything to do with human relationships and human development, neuro-linguistic programming, emotional intelligence, I realised that I needed to change who I was to bring out the best in my players. So all those high maintenance parents were auditory digital learners. So they just needed a process of information. And once I took the time to give them that information, I then called them HMs, Happy Mondays. Those parents will be your most loyal clients. So I didn't realise all those tools, I only had like half a toolkit as a coach. And that was also one of the great things about that Junior Fed Cup story. My number 1 player, she was from far north Queensland. If she was any more laid back, she'd be lying down. The second player, she was from Sydney. She's half Russian, half Australian. She's like saying, come on, and then she's like, Dubai. And she's up, down, up, down. And then my other player, she was so up and down, I had to be like a flat line. Okay, at the end of the week, I had multi-personality disorder, but as coaches, someone mentioned the expression before, we have to be a chameleon. All right, but you can only do that if you have the tools in your toolkit to know when to play which cards. Yeah, hands up if you can kind of understand what I'm saying. Anyone ever felt burnt out with coaching? Totally. The way that we have to manage ourselves is really important. And what happened by learning more about this definition, people management, that catapulted me back into the world of coaching and into the world of tennis, because I realised I had to change who I was. So that's just a little bonus there if anyone's interested in taking a deeper dive. So I just created 4 personality profiles through tennis. Great one if you're working with any doubles teams, just to how to better communicate with your partner. Obviously, we're a combination of all 4 of these personalities, but certainly some of the you might find that YouTube clip quite useful to take a deeper dive. Okay, time for another fantastic prize to give away, because now we're moving into the world of, we've touched on it a little bit in Mike's presentation with regards to this back to this online world and this whole screen, the gaming, the esports, the way the future's going, in understanding the motivation and what's going to help us do a better job as coaches in the future. For a prize, does anyone know what any of those letters might stand for? Yeah. Yeah, go. Role-play games. RPG, role-play games. Okay, so we'll touch on that in a moment. Fantastic. Any other guesses? PvP? Player versus player, all right? Which, when we think about it, that's our game, all right? We need a partner. You can't just play tennis against the wall. Yes, you can get very good that way, but not many kids are going to do that these days. So, so player versus player. Any other guesses? Gaming? Probably a bit hard with just the letters up there. So, if you're going to write anything down or take a photo, it's probably of this next slide. So important to understand these concepts within our coaching, especially when we're talking about what elements we need to bring to every lesson. So collectors, in tennis, how many points do we need to win to be able to win a game? Okay, unless it's sudden death or these days, but yeah, if you don't win 2 points, you can't win the game. All right, you have to group points together. Okay, we have to collect points. Okay, puzzle solvers. What do we call that in our game? It's related always back to our game. Puzzle solvers, problem solvers. Yeah. I love the quote by Jim Courier. I've never ever lost a tennis match before in my life. I've only ever run out of time to solve the problem. Okay, we have to enhance and really provide environments for these problem-solving ways. Okay, role-play games. All right, so I love, especially with this next generation of learners again, I love this whole concept that they have around game styles. You know, we talk about, okay, there's 5 game styles. So, like, yell some out of you. So, a game style. So, for example, serve and volley would be a game style. What else?
Counter-puncher.
Sorry?
Counter-puncher.
A counter-puncher, yep. Baseliner, aggressive baseliner. Okay, so imagine all of a sudden when you've got a player, and this again happened with the girl that I'm working with, she said, well, when I play, I feel like I'm like a hawk. I rise above and I wait, and then I pounce. Okay, counter-puncher, right? But she's like saying, I'm a hawk. And I'm like, oh, well, how many other people in this world do you think are hawks? She's like, no one, it's me, I own it. I'm like, exactly. Right, how cool is that? That she connected to that game style. That's her game style. That's the way she wants to play. All right, in language that was really, you could see her whole neurology change. Oh, you're a counterpuncher, oh, okay. Didn't do anything for her, all right? So the more we can tap into that type of language, player versus player, I mean, I've been saying for years and years, one of my coaching philosophies is obviously winning is great, losing is a part of our sport, but competing is the ultimate. Falling in love with the battle of competition forms a massive part of my coaching philosophy. Within all our girl power camps, we help the girls fall in love with competition by playing mini matches for teams. But it's still player versus player, I play you in a tie break, now I'm playing you, and I've forgotten that I lost to you, and I've even lost to you, I've forgotten, now I'm all of a sudden playing you. All right, helping them to fall in love. That is our game. The essence and core of it, 1v1. And social, okay, obviously. I want to play because my friend plays, and that's why I want to play on their team. All right, what about language? Does anyone, I just want to touch on language briefly if I could. Language, anyone, like we've got RPG, we've got PvP, what kind of words, instead of, you know, saying replay the point, what else could you say to tap into their language? Anyone? Reset. Reset. All right, I love that. Just reset the point. Okay, we can tap into the language that they use, that they love. And I'm not saying every week, I'm saying blend. I love blend. Blend it in. Lock, unlock. Okay? Res. What's res? You actually die. Yeah? Okay, good. Get over yourself. Okay, learn how to come first, learn how to come second, get over it and, move, and get on to the next point. We've got battle, we've got restore, we've got HP, which is a health point, collecting inventory, resources, and of course energy. Energy, which is where we're heading. Now. All right, so one of the things around energy that I love is this signature that we have. One of my favourite activities at workshops is actually having you walk in somebody else's shoes. So you calibrate my walk, and then you walk like me. And then you ask yourself, I wonder how she's feeling today. Okay? Being able to just witness how they come onto your court. Okay? All right? Noticing that puts you straight away in the mind of listening to where are they at right now? And then how can we shift that? We have an energy signature. All right? So 30 seconds with the person next to you. This is the question. What do others say about you? So turn to the person, you know, like one thing, I know that even the reason, or even asked me here, one thing he always says he loves about me is my energy. All right, talk. So again, I'm working on Norwegian, it's getting old. Right, okay, so that's what people say about me. Okay, cool, all right. How can you, in yourself, have an awareness of what other people say about you? Turn to the person next to you, ask them. If you know them well, what do others say about me? What's my strength? What am I really good at? Go, 30 seconds, go, go, go. What am I really good at? What do you think? Yeah, perfect. Española. Yeah, we see. What do others say about you? Love it. Yeah. That's awesome. You? 30 seconds. Energy. Okay. All right. Yep. Let's throw it out. Who listened? First hand up. Who listened to their partner? Anyone listen to their partner? Evan. Yeah. What'd your partner say?
Good energy.
Yeah.
And trying to give individual time to each player.
Fantastic. And we had both strict but compassionate at the back there. So that's that energy signature that we need to be aware of. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I passionately believe, and probably more so in the words of one of my favourite speakers in tennis, Jim Lair, he says we have to be big spenders of energy as tennis coaches because we're giving and we're giving and we're giving. So therefore, we also need to make sure that we accumulate and we amass as much energy as we can so we can give it out in our lessons and the players can feed that. Because I don't know about you, but not many kids walk through my door and they're already motivated. They already want to be there. All right, they're like, yeah, let's go, coach. Yeah, how many kids are like that these days? Yeah, maybe it was 50-50, I felt like when I grew up. Right, that's because we'd rock up at the club and we had to create our own games and our own energy. So, but society has changed, so we can't blame the kids. We just have to have an awareness of it. Obviously, energy traps, be aware of those people that suck the life out of you, the people that bring you down. The people that just don't, that you know the ones, yeah? Yeah? Avoid them. Yeah? Just avoid them or confront them. All right, energy levels, awareness on a scale of 1 to 10. What is your energy right now? We're talking, what are we talking? 347. Long day. What your 0 is, you're fried. And 10, you are right where I am. That's about, okay, maybe I'm an 8. But, yeah? Okay, what's your energy number right now? Yell it out on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 8. 7. 4. Anyone less than a 6? Hands up if you said less than 6. All right, that's more than half the group. Everyone stand up. I'm going to show you a quick energy. I'm going to show you a quick little energy buzz. Everyone up, everyone up. Okay, ready? All right, arm out. Yeah. Okay, ready? Arm out. Like, you've been coaching for like 8 hours. You've got nothing left. The kids have been like, just like, and you're not sure. How did you know? No, that's later on tonight. We'll do that one. All right, Chinese Qigong, a great little energy buzz to get you going. Ready? Slap yourself. Go. Back. All the way down the arm. All the way down. Turn it over. Flip it back up. Good. Cross. Other arm. Tap. Flip it the other way. Okay, now down the legs. Inside of the legs. Inside. Just take 3 breaths slowly with your eyes closed. Breathing into the whole part of the body, thanks to Dean. Not just the upper chest. And one more. And really blow out that energy. All right, how do you feel? Did you go, oh, you went up to a 10? Oh my God, I'm telling you. I thought Dean's thing was magical, but you know, I'll have to share that one, hey mate? Okay, all right. I do love that one, little energy top up. There's so many other ways we can top up our energy. Okay, one of my favorite, most simplest ways to top up your energy, or let me put it this way, does anyone know where we get the most, something happens at the start of our day that can quite often zap our energy. Anyone know what it is? Yeah, the minute we put that screen on, and the minute, as we've heard, we start comparing our life to everybody else's life. All right, that's the biggest zapper of energy you can imagine. So instead, we're talking about energy top-ups, so flip that. What could you add to your coaching toolkit? And I do this at least 5 times a week. First thing I do when I wake up. Anyone want to? 3 gratitudes, stretch. All right, 3 gratitudes every single morning. Okay, just in the diary, boom, start the day that way. All of a sudden, I'm setting my day up for success. That's an energy top up. All right, if we're coaches, we're going to expend energy. We got to fill up our own tank. Yeah, make sense? So that's technology-free days, caffeine-free days, alcohol-free days. Okay, it's up to you, but plenty of great ways, and connecting with nature another way. All right, what about the energy of the players, as we said? So we've topped up our energy. We all recognise that as coaches it's so important that we have that energy, we're ready. All right, but what about the players? They've come onto your court and they're like that. How do you shift their energy? Any ideas? Anyone want to throw out an idea for me? No right or wrong. You can't get answers wrong with me. Anything come to mind? What could you do to shift energy? Yeah, okay, straight away. Just like Evan, he's standing there, he's bouncing the ball while he's listening to my presentation, yeah? He wants to get moving. Okay, I used to have a coach who was one of the most famous coaches in Australia. I'd do, the warm-up, I'd raise the heart rate, do the mobilised activation, the kids are ready to go, and he'd there to tell war stories. Back when I was coaching at Wimbledon, right? And he'd talk for 20 minutes. Now he's a great coach. I'm not paying out on him at all, I'm just saying that war story would have been awesome maybe when we were stretching. Okay, so great things we can do. We can share a story. Better still, ask someone, could you prepare something about your match on the weekend, and could you share a story from that match next week? All right, plenty of preparation, time to think about what you're going to say, something you might want to share. in the boys' survivor camps, you can see we've got the immunity beads, we've got symbols. They bring in symbols that are really important to them, okay? Get them to explain what that means. With the girl power camps, we get them to create vision boards, what's important to them. We could give an alarming statistic, right, to just shake them out of it, okay? We could ask a great question. Just ask a great question. This is a technique I saw from a fantastic coach. Again, one of his players, this was just a private lesson, but really, really down about a match. And straight away, just shifted the energy, looked up and said, do you think it's going to rain today? Boom. Kids had to, what are you talking about, coach? Don't be so... Looked up, shifts the body, where the child was looking, down, down, down. Looking up, insert then a great question. Tell me about everything you did well last week. Maybe not even about the match. All right, ask a great question. Match and mirror first. Follow before we lead. If the energy's here, then I'm going to start the energy here. I'm going to follow first and then I'm going to lead. All right? And in today's modern world, unfortunately, does anyone want to have a guess how long have we got to do that? So the modern learner, when they watch YouTube, how many seconds does it take before they decide whether they're going to watch that clip?
3.
Close. I love that you had a go. 7. 7 seconds. And most of them are not going to watch it longer than 4 minutes. All right? So as a coach, you've got 7 seconds to 2 minutes, pretty much how the energy of the session's going to go. Okay? And just right now, show of hands if you have actually checked one of the notifications on your phone during my session. Show of hands. All right, thanks for your honesty. God, I could do a better job. All right, it's hard though, isn't it? You want to take maybe a photo of the slide and then you see that little notification pop up. Oh, must be urgent. Yeah? Yet we know we can't multitask. All right? We can only, especially as tennis players, we can only play that one point. We can't play that one point and think about winning the set. We've all done that before, haven't we? Show of hands? Yeah, we know how that ends. We know how that ends. All right, so my 3 answers for what makes a great coach are bound up in the E factors. Obviously, energy, we spoke about it. We have to accumulate so that we can be big spenders of energy. Empathy. Empathy for me means understanding what it might be like to walk in somebody else's shoes, but we can never really truly be that other person. So how can we then, the next step, walk alongside them to see what they see? The better we understand their map of the world, the better we can coach. And then finally, we hear about this word about fun, we hear about enjoyment. Obviously we know when we're having fun, what happens? We learn. All right, now whatever fun means to you, whatever definition you want that to be or mean, I love the word enjoyment. All right, I know that another example within the girl power camps, if they get the balls up within under a minute, they get rewarded with a 1-court suicide, which it doesn't. It takes 17 seconds. It's not, you're not even building up any lactic acid. All right, isn't that crazy? But that could mean enjoyment. All right, because of course they're going to get fitter, they're going to get faster, they're going to get stronger, they're going to win more matches, which is going to be enjoying, hopefully. Okay, depending on how you set it and how you raise your expectations. So, finally, the one thing that we all have in common, all right, no matter what level we coach, I truly believe that we are in the character building game. Okay, we are in the game of not everyone's going to be the next Ash Barty, Christian Rudd, Amy Johnson. Yeah? No one's, but how many parents walk through the door and say, I want my child to be the best recreational tennis player going? All right, never happens, okay? So when I asked Darren Cahill, what are the qualities that make up a champion? Here's the 5 that he said. Hard work. We can still build that into our sessions. Belief. Through our language, we've heard all this great information around language. Purpose. Tomorrow when I show activities on court, I want you to really look beyond the activity to the purpose. I always have at least 3 objectives almost going on within an activity that are so bound up within the tactical objectives of tennis. So please look at the purpose and resilience and team. Okay, they were the 5 qualities that he said what all champions, and he was referring really top 10 players in the world, men's and women's, what they have in common, those 5 things. So, tomorrow, look, I am a believer in how do we engage this next generation? How do we speak their language? How do we dress tennis up for this next generation of learners? Okay, through activities that they can relate to. And yes, I'm not saying we take out the essence of tennis. I'm saying we find a balance and a blend. You don't have to agree with me. You just have to be curious, because I don't really care what you call the activity, as long as it has a purpose and an intention. But here's some of the ones that I'll be showing you tomorrow, all based on those 5 gaming principles. Does anyone remember one of the 2 gaming principles for a prize? First hand up. Yeah, you had to get a prize. You've just been like student of the year. No, you know why? You know why? I left the towel there, so that way you might want to come to my presentation tomorrow. The towel's for tomorrow. That was just to whet your appetite. If you want the AO towel, you do have to come tomorrow and participate. All right, so that's what we're going to be looking at tomorrow, the tank versus the damage per second, the DPS characters, etc. Obviously, do I still really think there's such value in these types of activities? Absolutely. All right, in tennis, we have to be able to recall the score. We have to remember sequences and patterns of play. We have to remember where's their favourite serve on the big points. Where are they going to go? Not everyone has data analytics to be able to do that. And that's all dressed up always within an annual plan. Okay, within that annual plan, we're going to look at the training block, the theme, the tactical objective, always a physical component. And you might be saying, well, where's the technique, Emma? And trust me, I'm a technical junkie as much as anyone. I love talking technique, but that's your job as a coach. What do you see? What do you need versus what do you need? And you might need something totally different. So that's my job as a coach to then coach technically, rather than giving everyone a loop. Hands to the wall. Yeah? Okay? And the gamification always links to some form of mindset, some sort of skill. So, dream big. Yes, imagine what's possible when we engage this next generation. And finally, my presentation wouldn't be possible without those 3 numbers. Later on tonight during drink, ask yourself, come and tell me, or come and tell your fellow colleagues, what are you going to do for yourself in the next 24 hours, for one of your players in the next 7 days, and somebody in your team or your community within the next month. Okay, because otherwise, this has been a waste of everyone's time. Remember, that was 45 minutes of your life that we're never going to get back. Okay, so make sure you take action, and it's been a pleasure. The ball is in your court, and plenty of resources out there. It was been a pleasure to meet everybody. I look forward to tomorrow, and remember that, in the words of Marianne Williamson, if I may, when we let our own light shine through our energy signature, we subconsciously allow others permission to do the same. Thank you very much.
We have more energy right now, so thank you, Emma, for giving us that.